What's up, everybody? Greg Tresiak here with Pragmatic Works, bringing you a countdown timer in Power BI. Oh my gosh, we have the busiest lives so much we need to count down the days until, whether it's a vacation or maybe a project that we don't really want to do, but we got to do it anyway. We're always counting things down, and Power BI is actually very well leveraged to do that. In today's video, I'm going to bring you 3 ways in which you can create a countdown timer in Power BI. Now, if you've watched this series, we are going to go beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And each step along the way, I want to up your Power BI game. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's dive in. If you're looking for the file for today, check in the information down below and you'll have access to the completed file so you can follow along right along with me. All right, so now that we have our file open, let's take a look at the beginner countdown timer and how our data is structured. So once you have your file open, I'm gonna head on over to the table view. In the table view here, you're gonna notice 2 tables. One is a date table. Very simply, I just created a DAX date table to work with us for 2025. We can use it. And I also have a function column here for today. So we added in a column for today, which leverages today's date. That is going to change based on your opening of this and when it's running. So just keep that in mind. That's how it's going to run through. We also have the major events table. So in this case here, we've got a moon mission launch on 8/8. We've got a New Year's party prep. We've got the big boss review, the fantasy football draft. I'm going to draft Lamar Jackson. He's the GOAT. Free pizza day, countdown, you name it. And I've also got some date and timestamps here. So a little bit more varied in these pieces. So how did we go about creating a beginner countdown? So the first way here, we are leveraging a days remaining measure in a card visual. Let me show you how this one was built. So I've got the card visual there, and inside is just days remaining. Days remainings here is going to be a simple dated differential function. Now what I did is take today's date in this section, and I found the difference between that day and 8/8/2025 in the number of days. So what's nice about this function here, let me grab it through and just show you for a moment. Dated differential here, you'll notice day 1, date 2, interval. So whenever I put in those dates like I did here, the last thing I'm doing is choosing the interval. This could be days, hours, minutes, seconds, anything you want. I'm going to stick to days because I like that day countdown, and that's how it's going to run. Now here is where it's a little bit messy right now. This is a static date that I've included, and this is kind of that beginner approach. I'm tracking one event, that moon launch, and it could use a little bit extra. So we are going to up our game, and we're going to move into intermediate. So let's check out the intermediate page. Now, also, by the way, that days remaining function, there is a number of ways that you could write this differently, some a little bit more advanced than others. Comment down below how you would have wrote this out in your DAX. Maybe you're an Excel person. There's a different function you probably would have leveraged here. Let me know down below. I'm very curious to see how people are working through differences in dates. But on to intermediate here. So intermediate here, oh, I love it. It's way better. Definitely improved here. So in this case, we are using a table. And inside of that table, we have the event name from the major events table. And we have a dynamic days remaining. And this will let me know for each of those events, how many days remaining. So I can see here, the big boss review, it's got 89 days left. And if I look at the big boss review, 6/30, right? It's about 4/2 right now, April. So yeah, pretty much. Now, what's also nice about this here is I have it conditionally formatted in two ways. You can see some data bars and a nice and easy rules-based formatting with how many days remaining. But let's check out why this is dynamic. What is the dynamic days measure? Well, this is a little bit more upping our game here where we're using a variable. And the variable is my target. I'm saying, hey, find the deadline. Find that date time deadline from the major events table. And once I've grabbed that event, I'm going to return the difference between today and the target in days. You can see here, here's my variable, and I'm leveraging that. Now, this is really, really nice because let me show you this here. If I just go in and type the major events here, it's not going to show. I'm going to need to leverage selected value. What's nice about selected value here is it's a function that returns a value when there's only one value in the column, otherwise an alternate. So I can actually reach through and kind of break through some of this filtering that's going on and actually grab the value I want. Get that column because I need that column and I need it to be dynamic right here in a really cool way. Now, if you're wondering about the conditional formatting, super easy to build that out. We have it on dynamic days remaining. And one of the easier ways to approach this is find your measure, find whatever you want to add the conditional formatting. Adding the conditional formatting for this, super easy. All I'm going to do is hit on my format area, and I like going to cell elements. Cell elements is the major area here where you can add in a lot of quick and easy conditional formatting. You also have off to the side here, adding or removing visual elements and options. That's how you bring this up here. You also have the icon format. Make sure you click that paintbrush and you're going to be good to go. Now here I have series event name. I don't have any conditional formatting on that. So I'm going to change this series to dynamic days remaining, and you will see I have font color on and data bars. Data bars is a really easy one. Once you click on data bars, it's going to apply to the values and you can just change it up how you want. That's going to create these bars. The higher value I have going this way and then descending. So it's kind of like a natural timer of how many days I have left, kind of watching the sand dial kind of go down. Perfect for a countdown. I also have some condition formatting on the font color. Here I just did some rules. I base this on a leap year, so I was like 250 to 366. We got plenty of time for the project. But this could vary based on the certain projects. Maybe they take a little bit longer or not. What I might consider is do a flag. And that flag would be like an important project or a long term or like how many years it's supposed to take. That might be some good relevant information that we could leverage here, right? We could say, if it's one of these projects, maybe we don't include it in this list. It just doesn't get the formatting. We could leverage some measures and use those in areas as well. Pretty cool. All right, so let me move out of this here, and that looks pretty good. But I know you might want that true countdown timer with date, with time. And I want to show you a really cool way to do this in the final area, which is the advanced section. In the advanced section here, I've got a full dynamic day and time remaining. And you're probably going to notice here, I've got 1 minute, 23 seconds, 15 hours, and 128 days on the August 8th moon launch. Okay, we got some time, but it's clicking away here. Let me show you how we built this. What we've got here is a dynamic day time remaining. And listen, I told you this was going to be the advanced section, so you better stick with me here. Now, what I wanted is a true kind of timer. I wanted the days, hours, minutes, seconds. So I'm really creating a dynamic text-based value. And all I did here was find the deadline and started grabbing the differences between now and seconds and start dividing that and finding the right number here based on the seconds. What's that? 925,600 minutes. All right, we're going seconds here. Okay, no rent. We're going seconds. So what you see is just various calculations to grab the hours, minutes, days, how many seconds in that time, 60 seconds, right? How many seconds remaining? We see that here. And then I basically concatenated this all together. Give me the days remaining with days, hours remaining with hours, and so on. You notice these are just little text-based values I've added in. I'll hit enter again here just to show you how this looks here. Maybe we'll do, you know what? I'm going to take the dynamic daytime remaining out for a moment and bring it back in. And voila. You'll notice things have changed a little bit, right? Our moon mission launch, we are down in our time. So this is going to keep consistently figuring it out. Now, what's unique here is you're going to notice as far as the order goes, it's not really going to fly because this is going to show as a text-based value the way that I've brought it in with days, hours, minutes, seconds. This is just a really cool example of how we can leverage DAX to get exactly what we want. So if you really, truly want that timeline timer constantly going, ticking down, people are using the report every time they go on, they're going to see, hey, we only got so much to go. That's going to be where we're at. If you are interested in learning how to come up with awesome stuff like this for the countdown timer, or even some of the other calculations, how these work, how those functions work, come join me in a Power BI DAX bootcamp. That is the premier way to learn DAX. Whether you're going to do that virtually or you're going to come visit us here at the Pragmatic Works HQ, I'd love to hang out with you, teach you, and talk about some DAX. So projects like this, those countdown timers, they are truly going to be a breeze. Well, hey, that is our countdown timers in 3 ways. We've got beginner, intermediate, advanced. Let me know in the comment section down below which one you preferred, which one you thought was the best. I don't know. I kind of like the intermediate here. I don't know. It reminds me, I got to get prepped for the fantasy draft. Oh, geez. Well, hope you enjoyed this. This has been our Power BI Made Simple series. This is Greg Tresiak with Pragmatic Works, and I'll see you in the next one.